Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Mile High Game Guys board gaming podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Jeff.
And this week, we are put to the question times 3.
Part 3?
I wanted to say it weird just to see what your response would be.
This time we're going to Wild West times.
With a train.
Yep.
Choo-choo.
Yeah.
Is there any Old West? 18, I guess they're all Old West at that point, aren't they? So you never think of...
No, surprisingly, the theme of the Wild West does not come through for 18XX games.
Yeah, I mean, they're all during that era, but there's no, like, train robberies or anything going on in any of these, right?
No, there's nothing interesting.
No. Okay.
Whoa. Whoa.
But I mean, like, there's like the 18 Ireland and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
there's no Wild West in the Ireland.
No.
No.
Yeah, 1860 something that's in Russia.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Well, why not?
I mean, I'm sure somebody somewhere has tried to make an 18XX that involves Wild West shenanigans, but hasn't really come
And
through.
that person hasn't been seen since.
No.
All the nerds were like, too many mechanics. I got too many pieces in this $120 game. I refuse.
Yeah.
I hate you so much.
If only it was wrong.
Anyway, this is Put to the Question Part 3.
Yes, it is.
Which Put to the Question is our ask us whatever the fuck you want to ask us, and we'll answer it probably.
Yeah. Well, we'll answer it. Whether or not that question appears will be in editing.
Also fair.
Yeah. Usually it'll be after we listen. We'll be like, oh, that got weird.
Yeah, that didn't play well with test audiences.
No.
But we threw a BGG thread up over on our guild, BGG guild number 2731. Gave people a chance to answer a bunch of questions there. Surprisingly, usually, like, because I tweet the link out, because that's where we have the most like followers is Twitter.
Yes.
So I'm like, hey, Twitter, go ask us questions. And usually I get like 7 or 8 Twitter question things, and then I make fun of them because I'm like, dude, I posted the link to the thread. Go answer the thread. So surprisingly few Twitter questions on this one. In fact, so surprisingly few that that's where I'm going to start. We're going to start with those.
Okay.
There really is only one.
And it's a question with a picture.
Yes, which I don't know how I want to do this because I would eventually at some point like to maybe fill this in. I think it'd be a good graphic to have on the website. But Mike, a fan from the Springs, long time listener. I don't know how he isn't brain dead. He's listened to so much Mile High Game Guys. He made a Venn diagram of Adrian, Jeff, and Zach. Adrian in green, Jeff in blue, which is immediately wrong, and Zach in red, which is close enough.
No, it's Jeff would have been red, and then mine would have been black because that's the color I usually go in. But then it would have thrown everything off because
it would have wrecked the Venn diagram.
Then that's how I like.
Two completely ruined.
Yeah.
But yeah, so me green, Jeff blue, Zach red, with overlappings of.
Well, really, what it is that I like that there's no combination of colors. It's not like making it purple. It's just covered in black.
You've ruined all of the connections.
Yes.
Thankfully, you didn't do that. The connections do show.
You've rotted away all the connections.
Exactly, yeah.
The only connection he shows, though, is where all 3 circles overlap, and he wrote terraforming Mars in there. And then the question was, how would you fill in the rest of the diagram? Thankfully, Tom, a good friend of the show, also one of my favorite people to play games with when I go to conventions with him.
Also weirdly know him through Mark.
Yep.
Yes. He filled in the orange or yellow section, which is
That's
where
the Zach and Adrian section.
The Zach and Adrian overlap with things. Orange is definitely, quote, thinks Jeff doesn't know what a minute is, which not wrong.
Not wrong, no.
So now we need to fill in ostensibly probably each of our own sections, maybe.
Okay.
Or maybe, I mean, they're also just filled in with our names, so they're filled in. Yeah. So maybe we need to fill in the Adrian and Jeff overlap and the Zach and Jeff overlap.
Well, I was trying to think, do we want to do it with games or just...
Well, I think based on the Adrian and Zach are the thinks Jeff doesn't know what a minute is.
Well, yes. Well,
we got to stay consistent. So not games.
Okay.
I have a proposal for the Zach and Jeff overlap.
All right.
The Zach and Jeff overlap, which is like a dark purplish kind of color in this,
Okay.
is the thinks Adrian is wrong again.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So now we just need something for the dark blue, which is the Adrian and Jeff overlap.
Knows not to trust Zach?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yep.
We got it.
But in another one for ours, Arabian Nights.
Yes, I was
If we
I
went
was
game
fucking
wise,
thinking that game too. So what would it be game wise? So Arabian Nights for us.
Yes. But nowhere near touching
No.
like in the tiny corner of our cross, just to get as far away from Adrian's circle as possible.
Yes.
Gallerist, Jeff and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gallerist.
Yeah.
Zach, what would ours be?
Ooh.
A game that you and I like that Jeff doesn't.
That's
That's
Yeah.
the tough part.
Yeah.
Because Jeff doesn't strongly dislike much,
What games do you dislike?
Magic the Gathering.
No.
which I don't like.
Okay. Food Chain Magnate.
There's Zach there.
Another one we can fill in our
Yeah,
spot.
Dislikes food chain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know.
This is up
I
to
don't
you
know,
two.
I don't know if there's an answer for this.
Yeah.
So not board game related, but podcast related. Edits the show.
Edits the show. Yes. Yeah. Yep. There we go. Perfect.
All right. Well, that's Twitter. Twitter's done.
Twitter's done.
Thanks, Mike, and thanks, Tom.
Yes,
For
definitely.
that awesome contribution to get things started on the right track here.
Yes.
Which is how ridiculous this shit's going to be.
Mhm.
Now we move over to BGG, and I turn that over to you, Zach. What questions have come up over there?
Well, first I want to preface it because this directly relates to the first question. Every time I post one of these, like the first time I did it, I just assumed that people knew how to ask questions, which I was in the wrong. Yeah,
Don't
I know.
assume.
We've learned many times. Never assume.
It's
So
a daily lesson.
I posted two things. One was an article that gives you tips on asking questions, what how to form them, all that sort of stuff. And then I did a short 49-minute video that just gave different examples of how to actually phrase questions.
In English, though.
In English.
So unfortunately, anybody who listens or who doesn't speak English, at least not as a first language,
Yeah.
still maybe doesn't know how to do a question.
Although, so first of all, 110,000 people have viewed that video. There are a lot of people that are like, English isn't my first language. Thanks for posting this. Now I can actually form questions.
Fair enough.
So, in that respect, I say, you're wrong, sir. It can actually help them.
Probably.
Yes. All right. So, this first one is from Paulo.
Escaping YouTube again.
I know. Just saying, that video is hilarious, which when I was forming it, I searched longer than I had to be like, what's going to be a good video that looks like I just found this immediately? It's like that, the thing where people do like spend 20 minutes on their hair to make it look like they have bedhead. It was like that, but for video.
How to make this look like I put in no effort.
Exactly. Yes. It takes a lot of effort to do that,
Yes.
or it takes no effort. It's one of the two.
Yeah, and you never know which.
Exactly. And then almost forgot. Did I ask a question? You did it right there. Good job.
Saved yourself.
You
right
saved
at the
yourself. Yes.
end. Fortunately, not a question with an interesting answer.
No. But
Just yes, you did.
a concise answer of yes.
True. So let's just get right on to the next one.
Mike Jones.
Who?
Michael Jones.
Indiana Jones?
2588.
If you want to go stalk him on BGG.
Yeah.
He's right there.
Yeah. I mean, you can literally say it on BGG.
Yeah,
so
it's
not-
on the thread.
Yeah. It's his fault
For posting.
for posting. I've got lots of questions I've been saving up for you nerds. First of all, offended, obviously.
Clearly.
What is your favorite word today?
Hyper rectangle,
Hyper-
clearly.
Okay.
Yeah. Hyperrectangle.
Can't be the same word.
It could be the same fucking word.
Protocol.
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 Ooh. Porcupine.
Next one. And obviously, we're not going to give any, context for that.
No.
Yeah.
No, of course not.
No.
No.
He didn't ask for what's your favorite word today and why. He just asked what.
You had the option.
You had the option. You could have literally asked us anything. Be like, what's your bank account numbers? Like all that shit. But no one ever does it.
You too can have my no dollars.
I got a bunch of debt. You want that?
Please take it.
Number 2, The Nightmare Before Christmas, Halloween movie or Christmas movie?
Clearly both.
Both.
Clearly, both.
If you had to pick one or the other, if you could only watch it
It wasn't
once
or.
per season.
Wasn't or. I would definitely watch it around Halloween, not around Christmas.
If I had watched it, it would be around Halloween.
I also have to say, I think it is more Halloween than Christmas.
The main villain, Halloween villain.
Yeah.
That's how you know.
Yeah. If you had to eat one mythical creature, which would you go for and why? See, now he asked why.
I put some thought into this one.
All right.
I think everyone's obvious answer would be unicorn, but no. But no.
It's actually not here. No.
Because, I mean, you're basically just eating horse. And, like,
Yeah,
do
exactly.
you want to eat a horse?
I hear their blood is made of mercury. Do you, like, it's like...
Wait.
Well, if
You hear this?
Well,
Where
also-
do you hear that their blood is made of mercury?
Well, it's not. It's Harry Potter.
I think it's
the
Harry
whole
Potter.
silver blood thing, and you're never, like, you're cursed or whatever.
Okay.
So...
Okay.
I know a little bit about Harry Potter.
So maybe if you had, like, unicorn tartare or something like that. Otherwise, it's going to be cooked.
Yeah, like, you got to get the... like, it's like fish.
Yeah,
you don't want the mercury poisoning coming out of whale blubber or whatever.
Yeah. Yes.
Blubber.
Yeah.
Dolphin meat high in mercury.
Uh-huh.
The larger the sea animal, usually
Yes.
the higher amount of mercury. Unicorns rife with mercury.
All right. Speaking wait.
Jesus.
Before we go into, I just want to sidebar on this. Speaking of mercury, if you eat the bottom half of a mermaid, are you eating a fish or is it like
Cannibalism? Like,
are you eating fish if it's in the bottom and you're a cannibal on top, or is it just like And obviously this isn't a cabin in the woods style mermaid. That thing did not look appetizing at all.
no. I did like that it shot blood through its
I know.
blowhole.
Yeah. That was great.
It's like a garbage disposal.
Yeah.
It just sprays out the top.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with no.
Okay.
You're not a cannibal.
Okay.
There's in no world is mermaid and human the same species, first of all. And
Mhm.
second of all, it's clearly you're eating the fish half.
Okay.
Anyway, Jeff, you put a lot of thought into it. We still haven't heard your answer. What mythical creature are you going to chow down on and why?
I think it would be a griffin.
Ooh.
Okay.
'Cause it's a little bit like bird. It's like part bird, part lion. It
Uh-huh.
might be a little gamey, but only in the lion part, probably.
But I mean, what part of it is not?
When does the bird tasting part turn into like lion tasting part?
Yeah, because
I mean, like if you had yourself a griffin wing, that's gonna be
that's gonna be a big wing.
that's gonna be a big wing.
Yeah.
So I clearly need to look at a griffin here, which I'm doing. And try. Okay, so you get some drumsticks because it's like the back half.
Yeah.
In all of these images, it looks like the back half, like the chest back is lion, the forelimbs, the chest, and the head and the wings are eagle. So you could maybe get a killer drumstick out of it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Somebody
They're
has to have eaten an eagle. I wonder what an eagle tastes like.
also ripped at all times.
Oh yeah.
So they clearly have lots of good muscle on there.
Wow, I had to get to what does an eagle TAS before Google would tell me what an eagle tastes like. It's not common.
I'm sure it
Search.
tastes like chicken, just like everything else.
What do eagles taste like? According to Quora, it doesn't. Somebody just says I don't think they would taste good. That's not an answer. What does a bald eagle taste like? Like a jail sentence. I do agree with a couple of these here, and this is the reason I don't think a griffin would be a good one. And I'll lead into what I ended up choosing. I don't think a griffin would taste good for multiple reasons. Both of those animals are predators. And in my experience, having eaten a lot of wild game, the closer an animal is on the herbivore, omnivore, predator, the closer to predator, the worse they taste. Humans being a weird exception because apparently humans, long pork, they taste like pig, and pigs are pretty close to the carnivore side of omnivore, and they taste good. So there are exceptions. But I typically, I've heard you need to stay away from carnivores. You don't want to eat wolves or lions or bears, shit like that. You want to eat herbivores. They're the ones that taste good. So then I had a dilemma, and this is why I sided with Zach that you can eat a mermaid because half of it is fish. Because otherwise, if that's not an acceptable answer, then my answer is going to be really bad. It's mine, minotaur. I would eat a minotaur.
I was thinking about that.
Okay.
It's very. I feel like
It's close. It's the closest mythological beast I could think of to like a traditional
Is there gonna be
grazing animal.
It's gonna be
It's
like a lot
mostly
of
cow.
but it's like.
But it's like cow with human, and I've heard human is like
Well, yeah, but I
it's
feel
like pork.
but I feel like it's gonna be very maybe not lean, but there's not going to be like a lot of fat in there or anything like that.
Yeah, that could be fine.
They do look like they'd be pretty lean. But I mean, I really like bison. Bison's really lean meat. The other option, backup option that I'm just kind of coming up with because I was immediately like, talking about the different. What are the little fawns, like half goat, half lamb,
like a dryad?
Yeah, like running around playing a pan flute with goat legs.
Satyr,
sure. Essentially, whatever I'm going to eat is clearly going to be half human.
Centaur.
You don't know because I don't like the idea of eating a horse.
Okay,
horse meat doesn't appeal to me even in real life. They fall on that like dog, cat, like they're too much of a domesticated pet animal.
I mean, a satyr, you would have to just eat the bottom half because the top half is human.
Except I've heard human tastes like pork.
He's really into wanting to eat something half human.
Like
it's the closest I could get to eating a human without being a cannibal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Zach, what about you? What's your mythical animal?
So mine's going to be the Caledonian boar.
Oh, what the fuck? Where did you find this even?
Because that's the fucking guy that I took forever to kill in fucking Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is a mythical beast from it.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, that's...
Yep.
It's just a fancy boar.
It is one of the monsters of Greek mythology.
Yeah, but is it a monster from Greek mythology? Like, it's just a super boar?
It is sent by Artemis to ravage the region of Caledon in Adiola because its king failed to honor her and the rights of the gods. It is killed by the Caledonian hunt in which many male heroes took part.
Sounds like it's just a super boar.
Yeah.
It's not...
That's
like,
mythological.
No, it's like a super version of a regular animal that appears in myth.
Yeah.
It's like saying you're going to eat the lion that Samson killed with a donkey jaw.
You could have said that, but you didn't.
It's a mythological creature.
Yeah, maybe I'd just choose a sphinx.
That's a legit answer there, Jeff.
Yeah.
This is a list of legendary creatures by mythology, folklore, and fairy tales.
There's a lot of
Look, blame Mike. Apparently you wanted this to be only half human sort of weird shit.
I wanted it to be something that doesn't actually exist. A crazy fucking big strong boar that wreaks havoc on a region.
It's like
exists.
I want to eat a werewolf.
Another fine answer. I mean, you're eating like a dog that's definitely a human. So
what if you wanted to eat a vampire? That's a mythological creature.
That's really verging on the cannibalism.
Yeah.
I want to eat a zombie. Just die of food poisoning.
Never brought up dragon.
I thought about doing serpent. I'm not like, I've had rattlesnake. It's like,
The last time I had rattlesnake, it was really good.
Probably too much trouble.
Yeah. Really what it is that
way too much effort.
I
can't eat that much.
Yeah. I just want to eat that boar because fuck him. It's just purely vengeance. Yeah. It's a personal connection. That's all.
There's something to be said for that.
Yeah. Whether or not you believe in some kind of divine being, assuming one exists and granted you one question to ask, what would it be?
Interesting. So my divine being, for the purpose of this question, is clearly the genie from Aladdin.
Okay.
But I still have no idea what question to ask.
Who killed JFK?
Because it's going to be Lee Harvey Oswald.
Yeah, that's true. Who killed?
Does humanity ever achieve faster than light travel?
It's going to be no, and it's going to be really depressing.
Yeah, I feel like it's either way.
But then I'm just fine. Because like there's always that part of me. It's like, man, I wish I could live in this sci-fi universe that I always see on TV where I get to travel to stars.
We just all die out.
Yeah.
That would be much more comforting.
So I feel like in a lot of things, it would be one of those questions where it's like, it's always turned in that weird way that it's like either no, and it's like, well, fuck, we're just here forever, or yes, but it happens like 1 year after you die.
I mean, that's still okay because, like, yes, 1 year after you die at age 40, because then it's like, shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yep.
I didn't ask when. Jesus. Now you're just mean.
No, yeah,
but
no, because that'd be great. Is that?
But see, that's only genies.
I know.
Because I did specify genie, I guess. But
yeah.
Okay, so maybe you're asking, quote unquote, God, some benevolent,
yes,
supreme being who's not going to twist your question.
I would like in that situation where he's just like, yeah, but it happens a year after you die, and then all of a sudden, like you see scientists are like, guys, we're getting close to achieving faster than light, and you're like, oh fuck, I'm gonna die.
The end is nigh.
Yeah.
What about you guys? What would
it would
yours
probably
be?
also be something extraterrestrial related.
Ooh,
like
that'd be a good. Do aliens exist?
is alien, like where are aliens? And then he's gonna be like,
Over there.
I mean, they're like,
he just points in the sky. They're up there.
they're up there.
He points.
Yeah.
They're 2.8 million light years that way.
Yep.
All right.
All right, Zach. What about you?
I don't even know. I don't know. Probably it's like, how long do I have to think of a question? And then he's just like, as long as you want. And then he leaves. Son of a bitch. Yeah. Spinning off of this one in a way, like one of the questions I always like to ask people is, if you had a one-way time machine, what would you do with it?
Front or back?
Front or back, but it was one trip.
Oh, I don't want to think about that.
Okay.
That. No, I don't know. Part of me is like, oh, I'd go back and like give myself all this information to make better life choices. You know,
Then you just ruin everything. 'cause-
potentially.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll just go ahead and give you my answer.
Uh-huh.
That is to go back 10 seconds and stop myself from taking it. That is 100%.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. And I just want to see what happened. And then you just never hear from me again. And you'd be like, Zach finally did it.
You create a time paradox
Exactly.
and just collapse the universe.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh, that's what happens. Nothing anymore.
But now you know that you've made this plan.
Exactly.
Yeah, you jump out of a time machine. You're like, no, don't do it. And you're like, ha.
Ah.
Now I get to do whatever I want because
Yep.
I already did that.
Exactly. All right.
So are you just skipping on the Ask a D&D
I don't know what I would ask.
All right. You've bailed on it. Way to
I
go.
mean, technically I did. I answered it in a shitty way that doesn't actually answer it at all.
yeah, you bailed on it.
Yeah. Sounds about right.
All right. Fine.
Um,
Number 5.
Number 5. What is a skill, talent, or accomplishment few know you have?
Skill that you know I have. I don't know about skill.
Okay.
Skill's tricky.
Or you don't have to have each.
Right. I was trying to think of like different ones of them. Talent's another one that's tricky. Accomplishments. I have a few accomplishments that few people know I have. I qualified for state as a varsity wrestler in high school. In the Navy, I earned marksmanship ribbons with both pistol and rifle. Pretty good shot. And also, shortly after high school, so I did my whole Navy thing. I got out and I was like, well, what the fuck do I do now? Clearly, I go to college because why the fuck not? Part of why I joined the military was to pay for college, so I go to college. Well, college applications like ACT, SAT scores. I didn't do any of those when I was in high school because I was fucking stupid.
Mm-hmm.
So in 2007, 4 years after graduating high school without studying at all, I walked in, took the ACT, and damn near aced it. My lowest section was a 31 out of 36. And I 36'd it in 2 different sections, math and science. So I take tests real good.
Doesn't speak very well though.
English was probably the 31.
That's probably the 31.
Those are mine. Those are some accomplishments.
I am skilled at video games.
I feel like we know that.
Yeah.
You want me to go while you...
You cut
Yeah.
us real deep, Mike
Okay.
Jones.
No.
We're just all realizing what pieces of
Well,
shit we are.
it's more stuff that people don't know that I already
Yes.
have. Like what's a rare thing that I just don't tell anyone that I'm really good at?
All right. Well, let's see. I had a couple accomplishments. Okay, so most people end up knowing that I went to school. I went to college 2 years early, but my last year of high school, I apparently got perfect attendance while I was at college. Yeah, like
Quite the accomplishment.
I went to pick up my high school diploma, and they're like, also, perfect attendance for 1 year, Zach McAnally, and I was like,
I haven't even been
if they
here.
even looked at my college, they'd be like, oh no, he has not had perfect attendance.
So you lucked into that achievement.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
You didn't actually achieve it. Somebody just
Yeah.
gave it to you.
Yeah.
default.
Yeah, I was in some like riding competition thing in like 8th grade that apparently I did well at. Fuck if I remember what it was about though. And then I don't know. I can open a Starburst in my mouth. There you go.
Another
I
one
was unaware of
Yeah,
that.
exactly.
So, yep.
Another one that just to stall you for some more time, harping more on I'm really good at taking tests.
Uh-huh.
When I joined the military, you take the ASVAB, Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery.
Uh-huh.
Scored in the 99th percentile on that as well.
Nice.
So,
yeah.
Crushed.
I'm real good at tests.
Yeah. I was good at tests too.
Especially
school.
because most of those kinds of tests that I'm really good at are multiple choice. And it's like, I'm smart enough to be like, well, those two are clearly out. So now it's down to a 50-50.
All right. Then
worst case.
Two more. One is I technically failed a quiz or an exam even though I got every answer right. That's because in the true false, it was A false, B true.
Jesus. Yeah. What sort of nightmare person did that?
Right?
Yeah.
So you got a 0.
No, I had 50% because it was half and half, but I got all those questions right if it had been true A. And that's how I assumed it was.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I also got I did so well in a test that a teacher thought I cheated in college.
Oh yeah, I had that happen on multiple occasions. Especially like classes where like I never showed up.
Yeah.
And then I just came for the exams and would do really well on the exams.
And really
like, there's no way you're not cheating.
Yeah. And whether or not I aced, passed, or failed the test, I was always the first person to finish.
All right,
Jeff, you've had a bunch of time.
Nothing.
Garbage person.
Well, it's just mostly everyone knows all of the things.
Open book.
Yeah. It's nothing. I can't think of anything that I haven't like talked about.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's things that very few people know. There's really nothing underneath, Jeff.
Yeah, all surface level. It's all yeah.
Jeff's an inch deep and a mile wide.
Yeah. Inch deep, mile wide. That's the name of your sex tape.
Girthy.
Ooh. I don't know. I've lived all over, but so has everyone else, and jobs.
I don't think any of those kind of skill, talent, or accomplishments.
No, I know. If it was like weird things, it's like, yeah. Almost drowned in Hawaii.
No.
I got chased by a beaver.
I mean, it might not. I don't know if I've ever talked. I mean, I have been attacked by a rooster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where you got your dimple.
Yes.
Well, not a dimple. Scar.
Wow. Scar. Yeah.
So casual glance would mistake it for a dimple.
So
no childhood traumas right here.
Accomplishment attacked by rooster.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure. Put that on your tombstone.
Yep. It's on my resume. All right. That's all I got for now. Hope this will get you all started. Cheers.
Did.
Yep.
Almost 20 minutes of it.
Jake, what is your favorite band?
Right now, because this is one of those like super transitory kind of questions, Greta Van Fleet. I am super, super digging Greta Van Fleet.
Original opinion. Everyone loves Greta Van Fleet.
Yeah, I know. That doesn't invalidate it. Jesus Christ, they're good. There's a reason a lot of people love them.
There's only so many times you can listen to those same 7 songs over and over again.
Yeah.
They've been releasing new ones. Their new album drops.
For me, I don't care that much about Led Zeppelin. So hearing them, I was like, oh, they sound like Led Zeppelin. So I'm just going to
see Led Zeppelin's like, if I was making a list of like some of my all-time favorites, Led Zeppelin would be top 3. Fucking love Led Zeppelin. Again, original opinion. I know.
Favorite band? Probably be like older Metallica.
Older Metallica's legit.
Yeah, like everything before like Load and Reload. That's where it really started becoming a big load.
Yeah.
See, I even like a lot off Load and Reload. It was Garage Inc. that crushed it.
Once it hits Enter the Sandman, I'm sort of like punching out.
Like after that or including that?
Including that album, the Black Album.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess I would say in that same sort of vein of just like at any point I could still listen to them and enjoy it. It'd probably be Queen because that's still like from an older band. That's still like one that it's like I'd always be in the mood for. But like,
Queen's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Like Queen.
I've been meaning to listen, like Coheed and Cambria has been a favorite for a while, but I've been meaning to listen to their new album, but I just haven't. So.
Okay.
His next question is to eat. So are we talking about cannibalism again?
We are.
I think so.
Okay.
Who would be my favorite band to eat?
Would it be because you hate them or because you love them?
I'm tempted to go to hate Because
Okay, so it's not gonna be Nickelback.
no,
then.
no. So fuck
No,
you.
no, absolutely not.
Because I want it almost like if to eat. I'd almost want to eat Nickelback because then there's nobody's gonna be like, man, he loved Nickelback so much he ate them.
I know 100% people are gonna say that.
If you're like, this man was arrested today for eating Nickelback, it
Yeah.
wouldn't be through malice. It would be through I'm crazy in love with Nickelback.
I love them so much. I want them inside me forever.
Yeah.
It's like why you want to eat that stupid boar. It's such a vex and anger source in your life.
Are you
want to
fighting?
just kill it and eat it. Yes.
You fighting Nickelback?
Yes. I want to physically murder them and then eat them.
Once again, I don't want to be on a list, Adrian.
Pretty sure it's kind of a 50-50. If people think you love them so much, you will eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, obviously, there'd be some bands you want to stay away from, like Rolling Stones. It's like, well, it's old, but also like that meat has got to be like
Real rough.
Yeah. To be the like stringiest.
I think the funniest option would be Tenacious D.
yes.
Just eat Tenacious D.
Okay.
That's a great answer.
Yes, it is. I'll second that one. Okay.
Does that mean you're going with Tenacious D?
Sure, yeah. I can't.
So you're cheating again.
Yeah.
God, you guys are terrible. I've answered every question. Sometimes too in depth.
I have answered every question. Technically, that's the best kind of answer. All right. Next one is from Alexandre. Is Die Hard a Christmas movie?
Yes. Yeah.
Obviously.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because it takes place during Christmas.
Yeah.
Because first of all, that's just automatically makes it. Some people are trying to argue semantics of it has to.
Like, I think the director or the writer was like, no, it's not a Christmas movie. And everyone's like, fuck you.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Also, fun fact, Lethal Weapon, also a Christmas movie.
Yes.
It is. It 100% takes place during Christmas.
See, but I don't think Die Hard's a Christmas movie just because it takes place during Christmas. Something about the spirit of Die Hard just fits Christmas for me.
Is it
Whereas Lethal Weapon does
the
not.
fighting against foreigners? Is that the okay?
The spirit of Christmas.
Okay. Have you a funny board gaming related blunder to tell? Not that one. Obviously, I'm assuming that's the floor slapping one. They
But
say
it doesn't
not to
feel
tell.
like a blunder.
Yeah.
But
Do you have any funny board game related blunder?
So I was at a brewery, I think with you, Zach, Manny, Megan, and maybe Pork Chop.
Was
Manny spilling his
Yes.
own beer that he went
it
to
was
the bar.
Shion was there. That was
Shion was there.
Yeah.
There were 5 of us. We were at a brewery. We were playing Concordia. We were like halfway through the game. Things were going great. Manny, whose copy it was, went, got a beer, came back, and in like just one of the most epic like failure of all aspects of human coordination. Like he didn't like set it down awkward and it jostled and splashed a little on the board. He didn't like hit it and it spilled like on the table and partially on the board. Like he was like setting it down and it was like he intentionally just dumped the entire pint of beer
Just
all over Concordia.
Yeah.
And
My brain is telling my hand to go 180 degrees in this direction.
like and yeah, it was one of those where like it was so just over the top.
It's like, did you
Where it was like,
purposely just
what the fuck?
dump your
It's like-
beer?
Solid like 5-second pause where everybody's just like, what the fuck?
Surprisingly, it held up. Like
Yeah.
it didn't leak onto the board as much as you would, or like soak in as much as you would
I
expect.
noticed a couple of the coins were pretty wonky because they got the cardboard around the edge where it just soaked in, and then where the board split for
Yes.
the folding,
Yeah.
it got a little ripply on the edges. But otherwise, yeah, Concordia took a full fucking 16-ounce pint
Yep.
of beer, like full. Not even. I don't know if he like they probably filled it to the brim. He was balancing it all carefully just to get it over there and dump it on his board.
Yep.
Took it like a champ.
There you go.
My other one, I have one more. That was the one that I was present for. This one is just one of my favorite all-time spilling something on something rare stories.
Uh-huh.
And it's the reason why I don't take like protecting my games from food and drinks too seriously, because like this is like the height of
Oh, I know which one
that
this
fucking
is. Yeah.
up. So I have been friends now with Edward from Heavy Cardboard for a while. And this is a story he loves to tell.
Just got to drop that name.
Well, he just moved away, and I already kind of miss having a good, heavy board game group here in town. I got to reform one. But he tells a story where they got the first ever copy of Food Chain Magnate in the United States. Got sent to them from Splotter, from Yoris and Jeroen. and they took it to like a 24-hour gaming marathon thing at some board game store up a little bit north of town. And they were there playing with a couple people, including Matt, who eventually became his roommate, who was just a fan of heavy cardboard and showed up to play with them. And it was an all-night thing, and so people were trying to drink like caffeine and stay awake. So Matt had like a huge mug of coffee that he spilt and dumped all over the first copy of Food Chain Magnate in the US. And Edward said like his initial reaction was to be super pissed until they looked up and saw the look of like sheer horror and terror on Matt's face, which just immediately took all that anger away. It was like, oh my God, dude, you're so scared. Like, it's all
okay,
good.
buddy. It's okay.
It's okay. So they cleaned it up. I've played on that specific copy. You can notice if you look really close on some of the cards, not even the tiles, where there's the coffee stains. And then ultimately somebody made a Matt's Coffee Shack custom set of restaurant tiles and things that they sent to Matt and Edward. And so those are my two favorite board game blunder stories. So now you've had plenty of time to think.
Oh, I've got.
All right,
So
Zach,
apparently,
what's yours?
Adrian said I had 2 bullshit answers, so I'll give 3 for this to catch up.
Okay.
The first one is when we were one of the times when I still had this game, we were playing Dominant Species, and
God,
Adrian.
this should have been on my list.
I know. If you don't know how the board is set up, it's a board that basically has 8.
Is it 3x2, 4x2?
It's a 4x2.
4x2.
But it folds up. It's like basically 2.
All 4,
and then all 4, and then you fold those 2 together.
Mhm.
And Adrian, apparently his first time ever dealing with this style of board, went to basically try and fold it up. He basically folded it up. He did the 2 4s and was getting ready to put the 2 2s, the final fold for the 2 together. But like his one hand slipped or something, and the entire half came down and then cleanly ripped straight off and hit the ground.
Like, I mean, the best thing about it is it's such a clean rip.
It was such a clean rip that it was like, it's fine, whatever. But I just love it was just,
and that was back when we were getting to know each other.
Yeah.
And I was like mortified. Like,
Yeah.
Fuck. So
Yeah.
it was like I dropped it. Like it
Yeah.
wasn't, but I tried to put it together wrong and ripped it stupidly. I
Yeah.
mean, I could have probably folded it better,
Uh-huh.
but mostly like I was folding it and it was coming together, and then I dropped half of it.
Yep.
And it.
and, I was just-
Shit.
and I think I just started laughing when I
Yeah.
saw that.
Eventually, you gave me that copy.
Yes, I did.
So now it's in my possession.
Yep. Another one was this after when we first started playing the exit games, like in the game it tells you, hey, have scissors because you're going to start cutting things up, and then after a couple games of it was just like, oh, we have to cut these things. We started playing one, and I saw this page of stuff on it, but I was like, man, all this looks like it needs to be cut.
6 different grids.
And so I started cutting a bunch of stuff up, and then it was like, we needed to use the other side for something specific, and I had to like try and piece this shit back together on where it was going, and it made it so much harder than it had to be, and I was just like, whoops.
Whoopsie daisy.
And that started the thing of you think you know what the game's trying to tell you, and then it's not, and you sort of fuck yourself over because of that. I had one more, but I forget what it was.
That's fine. 2's good enough. Those are 2 good ones.
Yeah.
Jeff.
I don't think I really have any.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
You're just not contributing anything.
Well, it's just I've never destroyed any board games before.
I mean, it doesn't have to be destruction.
I've never destroyed anyone else's board games before.
You sneeze too hard your first time playing Terraforming Mars, first mention, and scatter the cubes
Not
everywhere.
the first mention at all.
No.
Oh, yeah, because we talked about it a whole lot.
We had a whole
during the
Venn diagram.
Yeah.
I've never. The only time I've ever destroyed a game was because it was a flood and it ruined my copy of Hero Quest.
Mm-hmm.
It's crushing to my young self.
Yeah. You just have a lot of bad luck that just
Yeah.
Do you have a game of Blood Bowl where you just roll double skulls the entire fucking game?
That's every game.
Once again, bad luck.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever knocked anyone's war game miniatures off the table and shattered an entire basilisk off the table. I've done it to myself, probably.
Do you want me? I remembered my third one, and it
Okay.
involves you too, so you can
Riff off of it.
Yeah, if I can tell it, I can just say the name, and then if you want to use it, go for it.
Okay.
Mountains of Madness.
Oh, yeah. So, yes, that does bring to mind. We were at Geekway. We were playing Mountains of Madness. We let Paul read a rule book,
Yeah,
which we no longer we no longer let him do that.
yeah.
So we were playing through the game, and it was just to get to the top, and everyone was like, "Well, what's the point of all these other things? Just go straight to the top because you want to just get to the end. That's the objective." And we were like, "It's like, who cares? We survive. All we have to do is survive, and blah blah blah."
Which was really easy to do.
It was really easy. I was like, "Yeah, no wonder this game's not like super highly rated." And then I look at the rule book and I see at the last page, I was like, "Your score. What do you mean score? Oh, you need relics?"
And
we were
not
like,
to have these wounds.
And we were at like negative 12 points because Paul never even read the objective of the game, which was to go to as many spaces as you could to find these relics.
Well, because the game was talking about like you can go backwards, and we're like, why would you ever go backwards?
So
You're trying to go up. Why would you go down?
Paul read the bare minimum of how to end the game, which was to get to the end, but not why you were supposed to play the game.
And the entire time we were just like, what's the point of this fucking game?
Yeah, super confused. And it was because you have to collect relics and get more than you have wounds, and that is your score at the end of the game. So we don't let Paul read rule books anymore.
No, we do not.
No,
definitely not.
Well, there you go. Jeff got one.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Oh, this is another question from him. Do you have any interest for thematic board games night, i.e. a gaming night with games that have a common theme?
So this could almost fall back to the blunders.
Uh-huh.
Back when game night was first starting.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
The idea that I had that was brilliant because I was new to board gaming.
Yeah.
I was like,
well, not just you had that. We were all just like, yeah, this is a great idea.
Everybody jumped right on board.
Yeah, and we're given other ideas in the same way.
Yep. So I took over in the first board game night I scheduled, which was the second game night ever for our group, was a Catan night where everybody just play Catan and like expansions and different things.
This was like 40. Yeah, there were like 40 people there.
We had a great turnout. We played a bunch of different.
This was in Vine Street in the side area before they're like charging $400 for it.
Yeah.
Oh,
they were like,
I didn't realize there was a charge.
Yeah, they started.
I didn't realize there was a side area to begin with.
Yeah, that's why we don't go there anymore.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, because people were like, oh yeah, and then later, because basically this is all based off the first game night where things like Munchkin got played, Ticket to Ride, and so like I was like, Catan has got a bunch of expansions. We'll do Catan night. Ticket to Ride got a lot of expansions. We'll do a Ticket to Ride night. Munchkin, we'll do a Munchkin night. So yes, that idea has crossed my mind. It worked great for Catan night for having a lot of people show up one time, but then as I rapidly entered the board game hobby and was like, there's way too many games to do a themed night. You could almost pull it off now by doing like, say, a Cthulhu or a zombie theme.
Yeah,
and then there's a lot of different games that fit that theme.
Well, yeah, that's what I think. That's what he's going. It's like you could do a pirate one. And
we kind of closer to Halloween, we start to do spooky.
Yes,
like betrayal shows up a lot more around
werewolf.
Halloween,
That sort of thing. Yeah,
you know. So yeah, there's room for that.
And I mean, I wouldn't be against it, but it'd be more like I need to know what games we're doing. Like, I can't just be like we're doing pirate games, and it'd be like, well, what pirate games? Because there's a lot of bad pirate games.
Yeah.
All right. The next question is from Brad. What was/is your favorite Disney afternoon cartoon show?
That's the question.
That's the question. He's listing some of the different ones. Adventures of the Gummy Bears, DuckTales, Tailspin, Darkwing Duck, Chip and Dale, Rescue Rangers, or Goof Troop.
Jeff?
I didn't really love any of them. DuckTales, probably.
I saw the first episode of the new DuckTales, and that seemed pretty good. I've heard good things about it.
But I remember when these would come on, I'd be like, no, click.
The fuck?
Yeah.
I want to say I watched, out of all of these, it would probably be DuckTales, but it was more like, Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon cartoons.
Yeah.
So
I have a hard time choosing because DuckTales, Tailspin, Darkwing, and Chippendale were all like my fucking jam.
Mm-hmm.
I think if I had to choose, I'd probably go with Darkwing.
Yeah.
But Chippendale is close for a second. Tailspin, then DuckTales. If I was going to rank them, maybe Darkwing.
But it's like
Chippendale, Tailspin, DuckTale. I never really watched Goof Troop, and I have no fucking clue about gummy bears.
But it's like when I think of like childhood cartoon, it's like Rocko's Modern Life.
Yeah.
Ren and Stimpy.
Yep.
I didn't watch a lot of Ren and Stimpy. Rocko's Modern Life was high up. Rugrats. Original X-Men. Gargoyles.
I watched a little bit of Gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
I remember not the show itself so much as the toys.
Yeah.
Like Skate Sharks or Land Sharks or whatever.
Yeah. Street Sharks.
Street Sharks. Yeah.
And then my like Chasing the Dragon show that I remember loving as a kid, but apparently only existed for a very brief period of time and is stupid expensive to buy on Amazon. Pirates of Darkwater.
Yeah, I had a bunch of Pirates of Darkwater toys actually.
Loved that show.
My favorite toys were the actually the Mega Man cartoon show toys.
Oh yeah,
those ones were really good. I could probably rank these in best to worst original Nintendo game. DuckTales number 1. Chippendale number 2.
Probably.
Not a close number 2. Darkwing Duck after that, and then a Tailspin way 4th place.
Then what about the Adventures of the Gummy?
They did not. They probably made a game, but I never played it.
Gotcha.
And Goof Troop?
I probably had a Game Boy game at some point, but
I mean,
trash.
It did have Goof Troop did spawn a Goofy movie, or
yes,
a Goofy movie exists either because of it or the other way around. I don't remember, but I did really like that movie.
Goofy movie's good.
It was a good movie.
Yeah, great song.
I had seen a Reddit thread at some point. There was a Sasquatch in the Goofy movie.
Yeah,
and then in one of the sequels, like he's in college. And it's clearly just the shaved Sasquatch is now in college.
Nice. All right. And the next question is from Paul.
Bullshit Paul.
Bullshit Paul. Stop reviewing new games so we can play old good games? ? Technically a question. Suck it, Zach.
So bad question. Clearly didn't watch How to Ask a Question.
Watched another 48 minutes of that video.
Yep.
And also needs to read the article on tips for asking a question.
Exactly.
That being said, well, and also,
so we just played Brass.
Stop new games. Yeah, Brass that he's wanted to play.
That game's 10 years old, man.
Yeah.
I'll even Birmingham that he wanted to play. Now we're doing Black Orchestra, which only he owns. We're reviewing your games right now, Paul. Jesus, man.
We just played a game from 1974.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Also,
being said.
Yeah.
So that being said, then now that being said. So I'm on my third tier of that being said. I really want to review like Zimbabwe, some other 18xx's, some other things I know Paul's going to be down on. And 18xx, just one.
You said other 18xx's, implying that the Great Zimbabwe was an 18xx.
Oh, no. I was implying that we'd reviewed one, and then I remembered that we just played one, and that it's going to be really hard for me to convince you guys to ever actually review one. So,
like I said, you can just be like, hey, Paul, let's review it.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't be against it.
Me and Paul episode.
So yes, I mean, if you listen to our look back machine last episode, a lot of those games were like, man, these were good games. Wish we could play them. So we would like that, but unfortunately,
so we'll just stop reviewing games and just play old ones.
Just do banter and just do discussions, no more reviews. So we can just play whatever the fuck we want.
Then we would have to come up with discussion ideas.
Yeah.
Is almost worse.
And that sounds like that's a great idea that's a great way to push our brand and get us into hires to stop doing things.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Next question is from Matt. Oh, if you could have any on-screen celebrity join you in a board game review, who would you choose and why?
Zach?
Adrian?
I've been answering all of these first. I need a second to think about this one.
I don't even know who's like in, but it's hard because what on-screen celebrity is into board games?
So the easiest answer in that regard would be Dak Prescott and his smoking hot wife,
Kristen Stewart.
Yeah,
No,
no.
Dak Shepard? Is that what you're thinking of? You said Dak Prescott. Prescott.
Oh, Dak Prescott's a football player. Dak Shepard.
Yeah, Kristen Bell and Dak Shepard.
Kristen Bell.
Yes. I was very confused because I was like, who the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, sorry, I got confused about...
Yes, Kristen Bell would be a great one.
There were two Daks, and they got mixed up. Yes, Dax Shepard, not Dak Prescott.
I have one. Vin Diesel.
Vin Diesel he loves D&D.
Yeah.
So Dak Prescott. No, not Dak
Shepard.
Dax Shepard.
Dax Shepard. There
and
you go.
Kristen Bell for a board game. Vin Diesel or the actor who plays the king guy on Walking Dead. In the more recent episodes, one of those two for D&D.
Okay, I don't know who you're talking about, but I don't watch Walking Dead at all, so I haven't.
Well, if you've seen, have you seen trailers recently?
I mean, maybe, but I would have no context. Is it the guy with the dreadlocks?
Yes.
Okay, well, that's the guy with the dreadlocks. That's all I know who he is.
Yeah, his whole shtick is that he was like a theater major guy before the apocalypse went down.
Okay,
and then he kind of really King Leared it up. Like he plays like he's an old style. Like that's why he's the king and they run the kingdom.
Okay.
And like he really uses, and he has like a lion on a chain.
Yeah.
But like he regularly admits to people like off to the side, like, I'm just making this up as I go, but people are eating it up and I'm trying to do a good job of ruling. Yeah. That actor has been on Critical Role a couple times because he's also a voice actor and he's got a really cool voice.
Gotcha.
So him or Vin Diesel for D&D, Dax Shepard and Kristen Bell for actual board games.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even want to play D&D with Vin Diesel. I just want to play other games.
I mean, I'd be down to play other games with Vin Diesel.
Yeah.
All right.
The Rock would probably be fun to play games with too.
Does he play games?
I don't know if he plays games.
He does not have time to play games.
He has to lift weights and
in his 40,000-pound gym that gets taken
to
on location to wherever he's filming a movie.
Crew of 100 dudes. It just breaks that down and sets it up whenever he wants.
Like I bet if you got the right game and you got The Rock and who's the really short dude who's in all the movies with him these days?
Kevin Hart.
Kevin Hart. The Rock and Kevin Hart in the right game
would
be fucking hilarious.
Oh, no. Well, it wasn't even a question of...
Just watch the new Jumanji movie.
Right? Well, the question is... It was about board game review. If it was just about playing games, it was... if you could have any on-screen celebrity to join you in a board game review.
Ah, shit.
Yeah.
Not just play a board game.
Not just play... Yeah.
Then you'd need somebody who actually knew games.
Yeah. Vin Diesel.
That makes it a lot trickier. Vin Diesel.
I don't want to choose the obvious ones like Felicia Day and stuff like that.
Because if it'd be like, I'd want to play any improvisational style game with like Paul F. Tompkins or shit like that.
Yeah.
That would be, if it was just playing games. Okay. So
I'm sure Felicia Day is a very nice person.
Oh, I'm sure. Yes.
But I would choose Vin Diesel first.
All right. Next question from Ofer.
Yes.
Okay. Ofer.
Yeah. Or Offer. That's
Ofer.
Yeah, I know.
Got it right on the first try.
I did. That's
no, Jeff got it right on the first try like 3 episodes ago.
Okay. Ofer, who is your least favorite Slack user and why is it, Paul?
Hashtag bullshit Paul. Hashtag boycott Paul.
Okay. Are those your 2 reasons why?
Those are mine.
Gotcha.
It's because whenever I have a chance to look at Slack at work, there is now 137 messages under general.
Yeah, because someone threw an opinion, and then Paul's like, well, let me just get on my opinion.
And I just don't have time to look through all those and filter through which ones are worth reading and which ones are just Paul bickering about something.
Gotcha. I mean, I'll tell you who my least favorite Slack user is, and it's the GIF bots, because they're really annoying.
GIF-bot or Slack-bot?
Oh, no, I'm fine with Slack-bot.
Okay.
No, the GIF bot, because it's
broken.
It's so broke. I wish you could use GIFs like you could in
almost every other inline messaging service.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the randomizer sometimes.
Right now, I really hate it's not StatBot.
StatMuse.
StatMuse that they put in Sports Channel because they ask things like, who's the 5th worst team against the Rush? The Denver Broncos.
It's weird how they're like keep asking them questions specifically to formulate
the Denver Broncos.
Yeah. Number 2, what is your most controversial board gaming opinion? I'll go ahead and start since I already know what mine is. Is that I feel that it's super fucked up that Board Gaming Geek's rating has what you think of the game and how often you play combined in the same rating, and those are 2 entirely different.
Is that controversial? I feel like that's a common complaint.
Yeah.
Oh, well, around everybody that everybody I know who rates the games are always just like, well, that rates it using both. And I think it's stupid to use.
I try to use both.
Well, it's stupid and you shouldn't.
I default, if I can't use both, like my controversial opinion, Blood Rage, Rising Sun, and Chaos in the Overworld are all bad games.
Eric Lang designed games.
That's a fact. They're Eric Lang designed games. And I don't think all Eric Lang designed games are bad. But those three in particular, I think, are bad games.
Eric Lang designed area control games.
Those three specific
Which ones did you say? Well, I know you said Rising Sun and Blood Rage. What was the other one?
Chaos in the
Okay,
Overworld.
Yeah, that's what I thought you said.
So with the exception of like those ones, well, those ones are because I also think they're bad games. I will never play them again, and I think they're bad games. But I default, if I'm torn between, I think it's a good game, but I won't ever play it again, I default more towards the, like, I try to average them, I guess, because, like, Pandemic Legacy Season 1 is, like, a 7 for me. I think it's better than a 7 in terms of how well it plays, but I won't really ever play it again, so I agree, it's a bad system.
Yes. All right, fine, I'll give another one that, there's nothing, I don't get anything in Battlestar Galactica that I don't get in like the Resistance or Secret Hitler.
Every other social deduction game. Yeah.
It's at a third or fourth of the time. So that's why I wouldn't play it again. Is because it's the only thing I get from the game. It just adds so many extra steps that I think are stupid. So
it's just slavery with extra steps.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
It's just social deduction with extra steps.
Yep.
Jeff, what's your controversial board game opinion?
Magic the Gathering sucks.
That I guess could qualify as controversial.
Yeah. And really, that it's not so much Magic the Gathering sucks. All collectible card games sucks.
Model sucks.
It all sucks, and it's bad.
Yep.
I can get everything I need out of a deck builder or an LCG without all the extra steps.
Another one that might be kind of controversial. I think overhyped, ridiculous miniature Kickstarter games are actually good for the hobby as a whole. Like a lot of people say they're bad and they're ruining Kickstarter and all that. I think they're good for the hobby as a whole.
They might not be good games.
Yeah. No, most of them aren't good games.
As much as you would personally hate them, like hate the games.
I think they're good for the hobby.
I would agree with that
They draw a lot of attention to the hobby and bring a lot of people in.
Well, I think it's very stupid that people are like, this giant thing is taking money away from these other, smaller Kickstarters. And it's like, no, it's not how it works.
It's not like they would get more money.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
Probably not. I mean, it might take a little, but not enough to matter.
Exactly.
It's more than offset by all the people who are on Kickstarter backing that huge thing, and then they're like, "Oh, what's this other small? Oh, that small thing looks interesting too."
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. Next question is from Wally. Has anyone seen or been involved with a physical altercation over board games? Note: floors do not count.
Not since I was a kid. Like, I was trying to think of this one, and I don't, certainly not through game night. I don't think I've ever seen any kind of a physical altercation surrounding game night related to games.
No.
And I wasn't actually there for Zach getting punched.
Well, that was at a beer fest, which is a different thing.
But we all knew each other through games, so very, very tangential. When I was a kid, I mean, me and my brothers definitely got in fights over games.
That was just really about
fights
you.
Over fucking everything.
That was just you guys. You brothers being brothers.
Correct.
I'd say I have the two closest things I can think of is a game of Twilight Imperium 3 that involved some Tyler, the guy that ended up punching me in the face.
Over a different situation.
Over different basically yelling at Bob and then slamming his hands on the table, causing the plastic pieces to go everywhere, including hitting David's ex-wife, Taylor, in the face.
At the time, wife.
Yes.
Right in the face.
Yes, right in the face. And then the other one is, it was a game of werewolf or something like that. Some sort of social thing, and it involved, Bob. I forget what the context was.
Oh, no, so it was werewolf.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was during the day phase when we were trying to decide who to hang.
Yeah.
And somebody accused Bob.
Uh-huh.
And I think it was somebody who'd even heard for a long time that the running joke was like, if Bob lasts more than 3 rounds, he's a werewolf.
Yeah.
And the person was like, well, we're starting the 4th round and Bob's still alive. He's clearly a werewolf.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob was like, oh, what the fuck? Trying to just be dramatic. Like my 4 slap.
Yeah.
And went to pretend flip a table that we thought were bolted down, but it was
Which
the tables
were
that strange.
By the way,
They weren't bolted down, but they
They
were.
used to be, but they were redoing like their floors or their tables or something.
Oh.
So it wasn't like fully down. Like the main bolts on the floor weren't down, but just like a couple loose
on
like,
the side.
nails on the
More
side
to keep it stationary versus to keep it
in place. And so just like his little like,
Well,
he put a little bit too
what-
much into it and it flipped.
Yeah.
I remember him going down. and
No,
getting
yeah, he
some-
went down and like sort of lifted up,
Oh.
but it was with less force than he was expecting to actually get the table to flip. And so
I distinctly remember being there,
Mhm.
and I remember I had Periscope up at the time. Unfortunately, the video does not survive Periscope
right.
for long, but I definitely had it on video for a little while.
I never saw the video.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Okay. Jeff, did you have any other physical altercation?
No, I've never really. There's definitely been some heated moments over wargaming
I was
because
gonna say like Warhammer.
people are dicks a lot, but that's no real physical altercations.
Mhm.
Someone flipped a board of Hero Quest once. That was fun to clean up.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, we didn't play with him anymore.
Yeah.
For as big of a group of people as I play with, I've never really seen a physical altercation
Mhm.
over board games.
Yes. All right. Next question. This is from Macomgaine. There we go. Rapid fire. Am I allowed to be here? Yes. Am I allowed to enter? You've already entered. Did I do this right? That's up to interpretation.
Yes, with an asterisk.
Yep.
You asked questions.
Mhm.
They were in proper question form.
Mm-hmm.
They added nothing of value.
Yep. So that is a perfect entry into our put to the question. But then he follows up with actual questions.
in a different comment.
Yes. So a long time ago, Adrian said that he did not think Scythe would hold up.
Adrian, for the spelling, which is his first question.
Yeah.
Yes, that is how you spell my name.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people spell it wrong,
Yep.
which shocks me because I feel like there's really one way to spell the masculine version of Adrian. Anyhow,
Hence the spelling.
God damn it, Zach. It's gonna be a physical altercation here,
Well, it's not about board games.
and I'll eat you.
Oh God. I knew.
Cannibalism.
Yeah, a lot of cannibalism. So Adrian said that he did not think Scythe would hold up to the test of time. Have you revised your thoughts on this at all?
Well, if you listen to Wednesday's episode, no.
Because we haven't played it.
I
Well,
haven't-
do you think not even personal opinion for you? Do you think it has stood the test of time as a board game in general?
As a board game in the industry, I have been surprised, I would say, at how well it has held up and is still highly regarded overall. I thought its trajectory would dip a bit.
Gotcha.
I never thought it would be like something where people would be like, "Oh, that's a bad game," but I thought it would. It's still like top 10 maybe. BGG?
7?
Yeah.
Is it?
And then
yeah.
getting expansions that people were interested in, stuff like
Yeah,
that. So.
I thought it would dip a bit. I thought it'd fall back to a more reasonable like top 50.
Gotcha. All right. Then he also says, I am one of the few and the proud that is not on team Fuck Adrian, but his disdain for Arabian Nights has me seriously considering switching over on this. It's understandable. Any arguments as to which side I should be on? Hashtag love those who love heavy games. Hashtag Arabian Nights is dope as hell.
If I was a computer, those two hashtags would break my logic circuit. Like, how can you love those who love heavy games, but also Arabian Nights is dope as hell? Like, those are incongruous statements in my mind. As for arguments as to which side you should be on, Arabian Nights is dope as hell. 2 out of 3 of the podcast agree.
Yep. So
Love those who love heavy games. Only one person on the show regularly agrees.
Yep.
So you should support the dissenting, irregular opinion for the sake of a diversity of opinions.
I mean, all I would say is,
do you want this to turn into Arabian Nights podcast?
I mean,
but I mean, really, history is written by the winners. So
your opinion won't exist here pretty soon.
Yes, only one of those hashtags would actually end up
survive,
and so yeah,
it's evolution.
Unless I win in other ways, like murder and cannibalism.
Yes.
Then I feel like that quote or that hashtag would be overshadowed by something else, mainly murder and cannibalism.
Yeah, your opinion probably not so hot anymore.
Yeah. You know, Adrian, how he murdered and cannibalized his co-host. He liked heavy games, though. Did you know that?
I mean, he's the only one left, so
yeah. So obviously, people that like heavy games cannot be trusted. They're mentally unstable. So if you want to murder and cannibalize people, heavy games.
Yes.
Arabian Nights, no.
No.
We love life.
Yeah. It's a hard life sometimes in that game.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Sometimes you cheer as you watch a very hunchbacked person getting the ever-loving shit kicked out of them, and everyone's just like, yeah.
Yeah.
And you're just
And
like,
then
well,
sometimes that was the right decision.
that was the right decision. And they're like, you cheer along with us? Here's Sultan. And you're like, all right.
Okay.
It's life. Life takes you interesting places.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes a building burns down. Everyone's like, calm down, Jesus.
All right. Next is from Mike Jones, part 2.
Round 2. Even says it right there,
I know.
Zach.
Well, I was
Reading is fun.
sorry, I got distracted by you not saying who.
Oh. I didn't want to wear the joke out.
Okay. I'm sorry. I hate to tell you, man. So round 2. Would you rather play a game of the game with a copy of the mind, or would you like to play the mind with a copy of the game?
So I would not want to play the mind with the game because it doesn't come with the extra little shurikens and life things, but I would play the mind with the game.
The game with the mind?
No. Yeah, wait, what, Jeff?
You said the same thing twice.
You did. And in opposite...
No.
I would play the mind with the game.
But you would not play the game with the mind.
But I would not play the game with the mind.
Are you sure? Okay.
I don't
because you don't have. I guess you could use the shurikens and the bunnies as the hundreds and the ones.
No, because it already has 101. Oh, I see. You're saying the extra ones because it has.
No, because you
don't have 200s and 2 ones to play the game with the mind.
Right. Yeah.
Because it comes with two ones and 200s.
It would be,
and only with the new art in the game. I would not play anything with the old art of the game.
It would be easier to play the game with a copy of the mind than it would to play a copy of. Than it would be to play the mind with a copy of the game.
Yes.
So I would rather do it the easier way of playing the game with a copy of the mind.
And with the old art of the game, you can't even play the mind because they didn't have a double. They had double-sided ones and hundreds.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, Pandasaurus likes money, so I doubt they'll ever just release a combo set that can be used interchangeably.
Yeah. Well,
that's what they should do.
Correct. Well, the mind can play the game entirely.
Can, but it involves, like you said, using shuriken and life things to substitute as ones and hundreds.
But that's easy enough to do. So, from what game would you take the most joy in smacking your 2 co-hosts around? So, is this the physical altercation that we're talking about?
Yes.
What game would you like to hit someone else with?
Yeah.
What is the heaviest? Gloomhaven clearly is the winner. You would love to hit someone else with Gloomhaven.
Yeah.
For me, it'd be Feudum. Maybe not as heavy, but it's a longer box, so I feel like the leverage is better.
I'm going.
I'll use my HeroScape.
But those come in like aftermarket boxes at this point.
I have a giant
tub. Yeah.
This is just brute force at that point.
Yeah.
Let's assume that he means not physical altercation. What game would you most like to just thoroughly crush them at in the game? I would love. So it's a different game for each of you.
Okay.
So for Jeff, I would love to beat Jeff like 5-0 at Blood Bowl. Like just the most one-sided Blood Bowl score you've ever seen.
It's certainly you would take the most joy in that, but it would never happen.
Yeah, I feel like he
didn't say what.
Okay, all right. Well, okay.
Most joy, just most joy.
All right, so
both of ours food chain magnate clearly just crush you. You have $4 at the end of the game. And we're all in the hundreds.
Play me online. It's easy.
That's not hard playing it though.
That's not hard to achieve.
No, but really, if we start playing, then we both lose already.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah. The only winning move is to never play.
Yeah. The moral victory is not there.
So you have your fantasy, in this fantasy realm where you just kick Jeff's ass.
So 5-0 is excessive, but I like
it's happened once in our 7-season league at this point.
So like a 2-0 where I just casualty the shit out of him. Like I'm just killing players, just wrecking face.
I'm still finding it hard to see this as an actual opportunity of realism.
And then for Zach, I would love to be the one to break Zach's Splendor record. It will never happen because I'm not going to play Splendor with Zach ever again because I know that won't happen.
Mm-hmm.
Like playing Splendor with Zach is just like, all right, Zach wins. Who's getting second?
Yeah.
Well, and also at this point, it's been long enough that I'm like, it's like, I mean, I'm okay just at like retiring from that and be like, I end with that 14 game winning streak. I'm good with that.
So Zach, for me, clearly you and Jeff agree. So both of you, your answer for me is Food Chain, making me get $4 and you get some amount.
I'd probably.
You're just.
I mean, Blood Bowl is the easy answer because I would crush you.
Would you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Would be the most joy.
Mostly because I would go into competitive mode and be like, I'm not giving you any help. Good luck. This is how you play this game. Enjoy.
So Blood Bowl for me.
Yeah. What would I crush Zach in though? Because that's what's giving me the most joy.
Not necessarily beating him at his game, just crushing him at something that he might not ever even stand a chance at.
I would say
kicking a child while it's down.
I would probably say the most enjoyable would be like a heavier tabletop war game, maybe like 40K. I would go older. I would go older edition Warhammer Fantasy.
Okay.
Yeah, like Bretonians on Lizardmen. It's not going to end well for you.
I'm sure.
Which are you? Are you Bretonians?
I'm Bretonians.
Okay.
Lizards are very slow and very much like, I have a huge block of guys. Bretonians are like, I'm all cavalry and can charge you from any distance, and I can rip into that big block of dudes, no problem. Oh, you have a big, strong creature dude? Well, I have a Grail Knight with a sword that will just do, every wound I do does D6 wounds, and you're fucked.
I would say for Adrian, honestly, I feel like I'd want to do Star Wars Rebellion or something as the Empire, just to watch you like slowly corner you as my war engine just slowly gets bigger and bigger, and then you just try and do a last ditch effort and the dice just fail you so hard. Then I'm like,
have you two played Rebellion?
No.
Okay. It's been Adrian and
yes,
Ant.
We have played. We have not played each other.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yes,
Just to clarify.
because it's been. I was literally about to say it's been Adrian and Ant, and then Zach and I, and then myself and Ant.
Yes. And then Jeff, I would just go Star Realms, just because I still remember. Like, it was still one of my favorite games of Star Realms was the one where I whittled down my deck. Like, I got all the red cards. You didn't have any of them, and I just had like 6 cards left in my deck, and I was just like, boom, boom, boom. All right, you take a shitload of damage, and he's just like, not getting any. Nope. I was just like, oh, I get all those cards back. Let's just do that again.
Yep.
And I just was like, sorry, can't do shit.
So you've already had your most joy from ever smacking Jeff around.
Yeah,
with that game.
Yes.
Well,
also because the game before that, he just fucked me up hardcore, and it was just that sweet, sweet revenge.
It was pretty sweet.
Yep. All right. What has been your favorite and least favorite job you have held up to now?
My most favorite job I've ever had was bartending at Scotty's Brewhouse when I was in college. I really liked bartending and serving. I liked it a whole lot. It was a bunch of fun, and it kills me to see how downhill Scotty's has went over the years. Like, because go back there for Gen Con, and they're in Indy as well, and they're just not the same place. They were way, way more laid back when I was in college from like 07 to 08 than they are now. They're very corporate now, and it's lame. That's my most favorite job I've ever had, and my least favorite job. Ooh, that's a tough one. I don't like most of my jobs. I work because of money, not because I like work.
Yeah.
Least favorite, probably, man, the Navy is close because there was so much fucking bullshit that I had to deal with in the Navy. But I think, I think I gotta stick with the Navy.
All right.
Navy fucking sucked.
I'll go next. My favorite one, honestly, just in terms of what I got out of it, was working at a golf course as a cart boy.
That sounds awesome.
Cart boy.
Yeah, basically I was just handling, like, obviously some cleaning and stuff, but it was, cleaning the carts, putting them out if they got, it got close to empty, the little stockpile we had of them, and then getting the balls off the driving range and the giant, like armored golf cart.
Because you're a target as soon as you step out on that range.
Yep. And then driving around the golf course looking for to see how many, who's left and for end of days and stuff like that. Because I no matter what, golf carts fun as hell to drive. I remember days when it was raining, it was great because we didn't do shit. And I remember drifting in a golf cart on the driving range.
Similar, just that reminds me. I've got a friend from college, who was a really good friend that I worked with at the bar at Scotty's, who was studying like horticulture or something, something quote unquote stupid in college that you normally write off. Joke's on me. It was a super easy degree, and now he does like course maintenance on a golf course in Honolulu.
Nice.
It's like he sends pictures all the time of like, working on the 8th green today. Like, here's a picture of the green, and there's the fucking ocean and the beautiful beaches.
Like, fuck you,
God
dude.
Damn you, man.
And so I have two worst ones. One, the actual job itself was just the actual like work I had to do was as a UPS like person moving shit from the conveyor belt into the truck.
I think I've heard this story before.
So I did that for 4 days, and they're like, this training thing, I think we're sort of good here. And I was like, I agree. And then my other one was as a door-to-door vacuum cleaner salesman.
Ooh, that exists.
Yes.
Huh?
And it was because they straight up lied to me during the interview.
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I'm a salesman. Do the people I'm selling actually want to buy a vacuum cleaner? And they're like, yeah, it is pre-scheduled interviews, the entire 100% that. And then when I actually got to the thing, the pre-scheduled interview was someone coming before us and going, hey, we'll give you this if you listen to the presentation. That's it. And after doing that for 2 weeks, including the first people I tried to sell a vacuum cleaner to, did not speak English. So that was great.
So somebody was like, hey, take this. And they're like, sure. They're like, all right, you're scheduled.
Yeah. And then they liked using scare tactics because they're like, one of the things they wanted us to do was to vacuum the beds to be like, look at all this shit that you're sleeping on. And they're like, if they have kids, do it in their beds, not there. Do it in the kids' beds so they'll be like, look at what your kid's sleeping in. Yeah. And so after like 2 weeks, I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Gross.
Yeah.
Jeff, what about you?
Haven't had a whole ton of jobs. Just sort of long-term stuff mostly. It's been GameStop, Games Workshop, Duke University, Target, Epic.
Jesus Christ, man. You've went through as many jobs in, 15 years that you've been working?
Since high school.
As I went through in the last, 6 years?
Yeah.
It's been various GameStop spots. I'd say my first GameStop job, probably my favorite. Still friends with all the crew back there when I first started. They keep inviting me to go see like Infinity War, and I'm like, I live in Denver. I can't go. I'll see it here.
Yeah.
Probably Duke would be my worst. Mostly because I hated IT and didn't want to do that anymore, and so I didn't. I mean, Target also really sucks too. But
I also worked at a Blockbuster for 1 day and did not get paid.
Good times.
Yeah, good times.
Good times.
Jokes on them. There's only one of them left. So
you've outlasted.
I've outlasted. Once that one finally closed down, I would have lived longer than Blockbuster. So
there you go.
Assuming I don't die beforehand.
I saw somewhere on the internet a Blockbuster training video from like clearly a long time ago. And it was amazing. I highly recommend everyone try and find that.
Right. Yeah, no. I've definitely on Adrian had a lot of jobs.
Yeah.
Camp counselor, a whole bunch of shit. Or Christian camp. That was interesting.
I worked at 5 different GameStop stores.
When was your golf course job, Zach?
It was, I want to say like 12, 13 years ago.
Okay. Next question.
All right.
Let's move through. We're getting so close to the end.
How do you pronounce caramel?
So this is a 9A, B, and C.
Yes.
With a variety of pronunciations.
Obviously, you're going to hear how I pronounce it when I say the fucking word.
Yes. So
Maybe
one more time.
Maybe we should have Adrian read this question.
How do you
I mean,
pronounce?
I'll read the question if you want to hear my. You're the one we make fun of the most for pronunciations.
But it's more
Jeff's is weird shit.
mispronouncing.
Mine's mispronouncing normal shit.
That's
so
true.
I guess there's differences.
Yes.
You're mispronouncing a word that's normal. I'm just fucking up saying a word.
All right. Do you want me to do the 3 without any influence?
Sure. Yes.
All right. 9A. How do you pronounce caramel?
Okay.
9B. How do you pronounce nuclear? 9C. How do you pronounce route?
Correct.
Correct. Yeah.
So, caveats. Because I got to throw them in there. I would probably say Route 66, not Route 66.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And nuclear, the fact I've been drinking as much as I have been on this episode and I'm still saying nuclear is actually amazing.
Instead of nuclear.
Because I do default sometimes to nuclear.
Mm-hmm.
Very much.
Yeah.
And I blame that on the fact that in the Navy, I was a nuke. And so we got used to saying nuke so much that then I just say nuclear and just like all the rest.
Yeah.
Nuclear.
Yeah. Nuclear. Yeah. Nuclear, route, and caramel.
Caramel.
Mm-hmm.
Caramel.
It definitely looks like it should be caramel.
Yep.
And I've heard caramel,
Mhm.
but
I
it's
think
caramel.
caramel is acceptable.
Yeah.
Nuclear, no.
No.
It was fine until George W. Bush said it.
He ruined it for everyone, just like a lot of countries.
Just like the Middle East.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Next question is from Andrew. What game is on your mind that you most want to play very soon?
Oh, root, brass.
They mean route?
No, I mean root.
Sorry, I just felt like I had to say
it was good. That was good. Brass, both versions. Food chain, in person because the online game is killing me. Indonesia, in person because the online game is killing me. And that's good. That's a good list for me.
The network's expansion, Legacy of Dragonholt, and Arabian Nights. Jeff?
Some.
Oh, and then Imperial Assault too, just because I want to play more of my character. I like that one a lot.
A D&D because I'm loving the campaign. I'm throwing more on there. What I'm doing for MHGG.
Yeah, I know.
Okay. You did this like.
Well, no, I thought I heard something.
Kind of want to get in a game of Seventh Continent at some point. I know Paul has some nightmare version of that that's like literally everything.
Yeah. You'd have to drag that away from him and Andrew and Wes.
Yeah.
So.
Maybe some of This War of Mine.
Ooh, that's a good choice too. Yeah.
Some games coming out. Like the Heroes of Terranoff pre-orders are up. Kind of looking forward to that one. I enjoyed the demo at Gen Con. Gen 7, whenever that comes out, maybe. That one's been pretty cool. I don't know. Bunch of new stuff.
Next question.
If you had to pick a game of the year from the games you've played so far this year, what would you pick?
It's close between Root and Brass Birmingham because I wouldn't count Lancashire's Game of the Year considering it's a new version of an old game. But Birmingham and Root.
New print.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff?
Root would certainly be up there. Definitely Black Orchestra. That was definitely this year. I played that back at Geekway for the first time. That one's definitely running up on number 1 for sure. And Founders of Gloomhaven.
I would probably go with, out of the ones so far, probably Root. But yeah.
Okay.
There have been some attempts to make board game versions of video games recently, such as Fallout and This War of Mine. What video games haven't been done yet that you'd like to see or think would make good board games?
I've never played it, but I could see Factorio being turned into, because people have been talking about it a lot lately. I could see some kind of like trying to build the best little factory
efficiency
engine. I could see that being a cool board game. All the video games I like, I don't think would make good board games. I don't know how you make 7 Days to Die into a board game.
This tower defense game that you're building the tower.
Yeah, but I don't normally like fight the zombies just from in my, like most of my zombie fighting is when I'm out scavenging because it's a survival game where I have to eat and drink and do other. I don't know how to like everything I like about it. I don't see how you'd put it because if you make it a tower defense game, I don't give a shit. If you turn it into a survival game, there's a lot of other survival games. I don't think I need a 7 Days to Die survival board game. I don't know. I don't need a zombie board game. There's enough of those.
You're not wrong.
As much as I love zombie games, I've got all my major zombie bases covered in board games already.
No, I'd agree with that too. The style of games I go to does not really translate as well to a board game. Like third person action sandbox.
Character action game.
Yeah, there's not really, you couldn't really make a board game out of that without losing what the game is really.
Yeah. It's hard to think of one. It would have to be some sort of grand strategy thing. I mean, like they made Civilization. That was a pretty good game.
Yeah. Yeah. Like there's some games it's like Into the Breach would be interesting, but it's basically all sort of already that.
Yeah.
It'd
Do
be
we need to make a physical version
exactly.
of that?
That's the problem. Yeah, Slay the Spire, same sort of thing.
Yeah.
Dead
Cells?
That I don't know how that would.
They're kind of like a run-based board game.
Yeah.
Which hasn't really been done. That could be interesting.
Yeah. I guess like this War of Mine's basically like a physical version of the game.
Yeah.
So in that respect, I'll just say Into the Breach, just because I thought that was a good, like, no randomness.
FTL.
Yeah, FTL would be a good one too.
Yeah.
Real time. Oh God. Next question. What's the most you could see yourself paying for one game, including some big blinged out collector's edition, super special, all-in Kickstarter game?
I have yet to pay more than $200 for a board game, and that's including like adding custom shit to it. So that's probably my hard limit.
Does Warhammer count? Because it's probably a lot of money over.
I would, if that counts, then it would be like the HeroScape counts.
Yeah,
which I would say doesn't. That's over $600.
Mine's over.
Well, yeah, but in both of those cases,
it was piecemeal.
Yeah, like so one-time purchase.
One-time purchase, Games Workshop. One item purchase or one-time purchase?
Like, as long as it's all for the same game. So, like, if you one time went into Games Workshop and bought just an entire huge Warhammer set for $500, then sure.
Back when I played, it wasn't that expensive yet. Probably what I would want to buy now would be that much, with their, they basically doubled the price on everything by now.
Right.
It'd probably be that. It was like $250, $300.
Yeah.
I think that's like individual game wise, like $84 for.
Well, it's also asking how much could you see yourself spending, not how much have you.
I'd say around $380.
Gotcha. I would
specifically for the Horizon Zero Dawn.
I know, right? This is all assuming I'd have like a regular, well-paying job.
Yeah.
Then I would be, depending on, like, if I had my old job, I might have tried to go, $300 to $400 for something, but I could see myself doing but I could never see myself paying, unless I just won the lotto or some bullshit like that, like $1,600 for
Kingdom Death.
Kingdom Death. I would never have paid that much.
Yeah.
So, I would say, how much was it? Was like $250 for the base for when the Kickstarter was going 1.5, and then like an extra $100, the $350 for the whatever.
Yeah,
probably $350 or $400. Because I probably if that came out now, having played it before, and then having a well enough job, I could see myself trying to put money for that.
Have your own copy of Kingdom
Death. Yeah.
I would like that real fancy War of the Rings set. That would be cool. Can't get that anymore, though.
No, you can't. All right. Last question from him. It sounds like several of us are planning to be at Geekway next year. How about having an MHGG meetup event one night at a bar or something?
I want to do that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Some kind of a meetup, even if it's not at a bar, even if it's like there at the con, get together and play a bunch of games, hang out.
Yeah.
Beer exchange, something cool and interesting.
Yeah, we'll bring like half our crew from from Denver. We keep it's like, all right, Wes, you should come this year.
Yeah. We're gonna get all the beer there this time, though.
Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, someone will drive, I'm sure.
Okay.
All right, last question of the night. This is from Ant. Where is game night on Halloween?
I don't know yet.
All right. Questions answered.
Right on. That wraps up another Mile High Game Guys Put to the Question. It has been a week full of content.
Yes.
Long episodes both on Wednesday and Friday.
Uh-huh.
I was surprised because there was a brief moment where I was like, man, we're not getting a lot of questions. I don't know if this is going to fill an episode. We might have to wait even longer before we do questions 4. But this took some time. We got into some answers.
Yep.
So good stuff. Good mix of board game related and just off the wall nonsense.
Yep.
Appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
Good time. I had fun with it.
Same here.
Hopefully you, the listener, did as well, dear listener.
Because I don't think a true fan of ours couldn't enjoy us talking random bullshit. Because I feel
not a true fan.
No, that's what I mean.
No true Scotsman here.
Yeah.
Marshall puts those down.
Yeah.
If you have any follow-up questions or comments on our answers, jump over to our BGG thread on our guild number 2731 over on BGG. It's one of the many ways you can get in touch with us, is jumping over, joining that guild, and interacting with the threads that go up over there. You can also always feel free to just send an email. We didn't really have many this week, which was good because the episodes were long enough as it was. But next week they might be short, so who knows? Send in an email, see how it goes. Where would somebody send an email, Jeff?
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Okay. Where was that again?
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Okay. I really hope at some point people just assume that I have a button that I push for that answer. Because you exact same tone, everything, every time. Pacing.
Consistency.
It's key. You can always give a shit over on Twitter, where I tweet under @MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
And I'm Jeff_MHGG.
We have a Facebook and an Instagram, /MileHighGameGuys on both of those at their respective websites. Our website itself, milehighgameguys.com, has postings for each and every episode, along with links to things like Slack, Patreon, and that guild that we were just talking about. So plenty of ways to link up with us there, as well as leaving comments directly on the episodes over there. Go invade Paulo's Corner on YouTube, youtube.com/milehighgameguys. Basically, whatever thing you want to use, search for Mile High Game Guys on it, and we should hopefully be there. If we're not, let us know, and we'll start another form of social media channel. Clearly, we need to get what's the one where you send them and they go right away? They go away. They don't
Snapchat?
Snapchat. Yeah. I'm young. I'm hip. I'm with it.
You had to ask what Snapchat was?
Yep.
I was trying to blank on the name. I remember the core concept of how it works. Whatever. We're around. You can fuck with us somewhere on the interwebs. So, thanks everybody for tuning in. Hopefully you've enjoyed all of the content this week. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday episodes in this feed this week. So, hopefully that's been awesome for you. And be sure to tune in next week for more rambly, bullshitty awesomeness with some board games.
Black Orchestra?
That is the review for next week on Friday.
Yep.
So there will be a BGG thread up on that guild.
Mm-hmm.
You can leave thoughts, questions about that. Wednesday will be another banter episode with some news and Kickstarters, things like that.
I did say that in the form of a question, by the way.
I know.
Thank you.
So, thanks everybody for tuning in. As always, I'm your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And I'm the patron saint of Jeff.
Bye.
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 Is from Macomgaine?
Well, there's no R.
Macomgaine.
Macomgaine?
Oh, it's not. It's RM. Or I thought it was RN. It's M.
Yes.
Macomgaine. All right, we'll say that. This is from Macomgaine.
You still threw an M in there. Said Macon.
Macomgaine.
It's game instead of gain. Yeah. Macomgaine. Gain.
Punchboard Media, where we all
bring something
to the table.
Pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.